Mm. It's the season finale. I love our season finale. Okay, feeling overwhelmed yet? No? Good. Then I'm doing a good job. If you are feeling overwhelmed, you're amazing. It's going to be okay. You can do this. If noticing and naming and the worksheet were a lot, I just want you to write down, whether it's in Fitness Pal, My Fitness Pal, or it's on a piece of paper, or it's on a Sharpie on your sibling's back. Whatever it is you got to do, I want you to write down everything you eat. That's all I'm asking you to do. I personally have learned over the course of my life that my eating habits are 100% tied to my emotions. And that's just the type of person I am, right? I get so emotional, baby. And I do. I'm an emotional individual. I live in Hollywood, California. I'm in the union, SAG-AFTRA. And yeah, my emotions are what dictate my life, for better or for worse. And I don't know if you're like that. Maybe you are. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're very practical and logical. Either way, I feel like the tools I've talked about, the things I've talked about in this series are very helpful for a myriad of reasons. Let me tell you what they are. It's important to know that even though I wish everyone in the world had our best interests at heart, that is not the case. The grocery store, the restaurant, the takeout, the fast food, the engineers, the chemical engineers creating bliss points, all the, trash food you love to munch on. Those people are not worried about you or your future or your health or anything like that. They are not invested. So don't worry about them because they're not worried about you. And number two, learning about yourself is really important, but also hard. And so, maybe the worksheet from the last episode is something can't do right now. Or maybe you're like, I don't really understand the notice and name. I get it. Like I've been through a lot of this already before, and this is my whatever number round of doing it again. And I'm trying to work really hard to just break it down to its basics. And the basics are write down what you eat so that you can look back and see what it is that you ate. And if there's something that you wrote down that you ate and you either a week later don't remember that you ate it, there could be something there to look at. And so maybe the next time you eat that food, whatever it is, that triggering food or that food that either puts the dopamine in your brain. The point is to just really think. I want you to really think about what you're eating and why you're eating it, right? Like, are you eating it because you're emotional? Or are you eating it because you're hungry? Are you eating it because there's a time on a clock? Or are you eating it because you have hunger pains? Like, what what are your reasons? Again, there's no judgment. There's no right or wrong answer here. It's just learning about ourselves. And I think you're perfect. And I want you to remember that. So as we learn about ourselves, we can discover things about ourselves that are really upsetting and really frustrating. And I say this with a little laugh and smile because that is what's happened to me. I knew I always ate a lot of sweets. And so sugar is definitely my drug of choice. But I didn't realize the effect that they had on me and my emotions. And I also starved myself a lot when I was younger, and I didn't realize how detrimental that was for myself as well. And I worked at a lot of hospitality places when I was younger. And so I didn't really eat any kind of real food. And, when you're in those younger years, late teens, early 20s, and all you're eating is ultra processed food, those do not set up the ideal habits for the rest of your life. And so, yeah, if you're feeling overwhelmed, sorry, not sorry, this is good stuff. And I want you to just write down whatever you eat. And that's the main takeaway from this entire series is just to write it down. And if you get to the point where you can connect the feelings, noticing and naming the different feelings to why the different ways that you eat We all have our stuff, and we're all not perfect, and we all have the capability to change. A lot of women have eating issues in their youth, and then they feel like they grow out of that when they're young, when they're older. And I'm not saying that that's not true, but what I am saying is sometimes when we think we're not doing this thing that's not good for us anymore, it's really reinvented itself and doing this other thing that's not good for us still, but in a different capacity. It's just not that thing, right? And so that's why it's really important to write it all down, and then at some point get to a place where you can connect the feelings that you're having with the food that you're eating and why that's happening. Okay. And I'm so proud. If you are still here watching these videos, this is video 10. This has been a 10 episode beginning of Jumpstart You. We're going to do the middle part, 10 episodes, Jumpstart You, and then the conclusion, 10 episodes, Jumpstart You. So there's going to be 30 videos altogether that you can run through at any time in your life if you just want to start again, because unfortunately that can happen to a lot of us, many of us. And again, if you've tried all the things, if you've done the Jenny Craig, you've done the Atkins, you've done the South Beach diet, if you've done all of that stuff, you know that it doesn't stay with you forever. It's only the habits that you ingrain in your life on a daily basis that stay with you. So the small changes for the long-term effect are way more valuable than the huge changes for the short term. Okay. Yeah, and you're awesome, and I'm just blown away that you are still here with me. So that's so exciting, and I can't wait for us to go into part 2 of this awesome journey that we're taking together. We're going to talk more about actions and less about thinking. The first part's a lot of thinking because you have to be self-aware. Self-awareness is really valuable in this department. It's valuable for all departments of life, but we are just talking about food right now. And I love you so much, and you are so perfect, and that is the only takeaway for today. This journaling, man, it's really in there. I want you to remember that you are perfect. That is the takeaway. That is it, because you might be feeling overwhelmed, and I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. I want you to remember you are perfect. You are. You're perfect just the way you are. But you want to be healthy, just like me. And we'd like to fit into some of our old clothes maybe. And that sounds really awesome. And it all starts with the way that you emotionally connect to the food that you eat, and the way that you look at it, and the way that you deal with it, and how it's in part of your body and ingrained. And just to really emphasize how important the people around you are, because I'm definitely going into this into the next few series. It's the people around you that have the biggest effect on your life. And if you don't have people around you that are supporting you, that are like, you're awesome, I love you no matter what size you are, you're the most amazing thing in my life. If you're giving that love out to other people and you're not getting that love back, you have somewhere else to be, even if it's alone. Because eventually the right people will come around and they'll be like, you're awesome in all sizes and shapes, and I am so happy to be in your life. You are the best. And those are the people to have in your life. And I know that to be true. And it's really tough because I feel like all the studying I've done, all the team building I've done, all the work on myself I've done, you really see how when you're super self-aware, how all of the parts of your life are connected. Right? All the parts of your life are connected. And I only want people in my life that try their best and that bring that joy and have that grace and have that unconditional love and understanding for wanting the best for the people in their lives. I'd rather have a very small group of high quality individuals than a lot of friends that are just curious where the party's at. I love you so much. You're amazing. You're perfect. You deserve the world. And I can't wait to see you in the next part of this series, Jumpstart You Part 2. Until next time, I love you so much.